Hey guys, Sleep Grandma here with you. Um, Today I want to talk to you about divorce. I want to say first of all that I am not an expert on anything. I'm not a counselor and definitely not a doctor. I used to be a preschool teacher. I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother, and I'm divorced myself. Um, but first of all, I really want to say that if you are getting a divorce, I'm really, really sorry because I know that it's the death of a dream. It's the death of a dream, and you should be mourning. If you went into marriage like I did, which was forever, it is the death of a dream. When I got married when I was and this is why this is my qualifier. I got married when I was 18 years old. He was 34. And I looked at him and I said to myself, can I spend the rest of my life with this person? And I wanted to. I loved him and I wanted to. And I thought he would be a good mate. And I married him. And I was married for 26 years, 26 and a half years. I count that half too. And unfortunately, I had to get a divorce because um, I felt I had to save my own life. Um, we have two daughters, and I stayed in the marriage that long because of my daughters. Um, and also because I was hoping he'd change. I was really hoping that he'd change. I kept changing myself. I was very sweet when we first got married, and then because of things that happened, I became mean. I became of course, I matured, so I did change because of that too. But it was an abusive marriage, so I had to leave, and I felt that I had to leave to save my own life. By the time the marriage was over, I had high blood pressure, and I was drinking a lot. So I was afraid I was going to die, and so I ended the marriage, and I was drinking a lot because I was a nervous wreck. And I was taking tranquilizers, and it was just a really, really bad situation. My poor daughters basically grew up in a minefield, and it was not good. It was not good. And even though I thought that it didn't affect them, it did affect them very much. And so I don't recommend it. I was hoping that we could get along, but we always argued. And I'm trying to say this carefully because I don't want to start playing the blame game. But I'm just telling you what my experience was. So anyway, after I got a divorce, I proceeded to talk about it for the next 18 years. I would tell anyone that would listen, and my poor friends and most of all, my poor daughters were just worn out. Okay, when I was married and I was going through it, I didn't tell anyone. Um, I tried to keep it to myself. I tried to deal with the best way that I could, and I just couldn't take it anymore. So it was the death of a dream for me. And once I got a divorce, everybody was kind of telling me to just, oh well, it's over now, so you should be over it. And no, that's not the case. That's not the case. And I know that if you're getting a divorce, it's not the case. It's very painful. It's very confusing. Uh, it makes you feel bad about yourself because you feel like, why didn't this work? I tried everything. But I also stayed long because I kept trying different things and nothing was working. But I wanted to make sure that I left no stone unturned. And basically, yeah, by the time I left, I was just done. I was just done, and I told him so. I said, "Look, I'm just done. I'm over it. I tried everything. I can't. No more." So yeah, yep, I got the divorce and walked away with nothing. Even though I worked all the years, all the time, but I walked away with nothing, and I don't recommend that either. But what I'd like to say, though, is I want to get this really, I have to be careful what I say because I really want to make sure that I don't get lost in the anger and resentment I felt for years. I want to make sure that I let you know that if there's one real recommendation I could give you is to get rid of the anger as soon as you can, whether it be working a program, whether it be going to counseling, whether it be talking to your best friend about it. Because, see, for me, what happened in my particular situation is that my friends seemed to be more concerned about him. They were like, because they didn't know. They didn't know. In all fairness, they didn't know what all the abuse that went on. All they knew was that, they met him. We hung out together. He was a nice guy to them. And that's all they knew. And I don't blame them because, but and they can only judge on what they see, right? So they were concerned for him because he was 15 years older than I was. So I understand that. But see, no one, after I got a divorce, no one really pulled me aside and said, how are you doing? How are you doing? Like really deeply, extensively. And I don't blame anyone for that because, I mean, I was lashing out at everybody. I was drinking heavily. I was drinking whiskey. And, alcohol just makes you mean. I was just out of control mean, man. And, you couldn't talk to me. You just couldn't talk to me, my poor daughters. And I stayed like that for the longest time. Thank God I ended up going to AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, and I found an outlet there. I found support. I was able to talk about my issues. Those poor people, they had to hear me go on and on about the anger. I mean, for years, about the anger that I felt. So I really recommend that you get rid of the anger, not by hurting anyone, and definitely not by hurting your ex, but by working through it, working through the loss, working through the anger, working through the confusion. And the sooner you get rid of that anger, the quicker you'll be able to move on and grow. Because this video is about you, about your growth, your being able to move on, being able to push forward and to be an even better you. Because, like the rain I showed you earlier, you get to the point where you can wash that away, all that anger and resentment, and replace it with something positive, something that something that you can live with. You don't have to be stuck in that anger. And I work so hard to get rid of the anger, and for a long time it seemed like nothing was working. A lot of things got better, but it seems like for a long time, I just had to pray and pray to get rid of the anger against my ex. I mean, I carried the anger so long that I really did think it was going to kill me. I really did think it was going to kill me. Now, the thing that got me through was my belief in God, my belief in Jehovah. I was raised Jehovah's Witness. I haven't really practiced the religion in years, but I did. I always pray to Jehovah, and I've always had great faith in him. So I did, that faith carried me through a lot of the lonely times. Now, when I first got divorced, I would go home to my condo, and I remember I used to sometimes, a lot of times, especially when I started living by myself, I felt really lost, and I felt really, oh gosh, I didn't know what to do because I'd been this guy's wife for so long, and I'd been my children's mother, that it was like, well, who am I now? And what am I supposed to do with that? I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know how to, it seems like people just want me to be over it already. And I kind of wondered because I said, it feels like I lost something huge, and it's like you built this house of and it just burnt down, and everybody's like, okay, well, it is what it is. Go on and get on with it. And I was just like, no, I have to process this. That's what I'm trying to say. I had to process it, and I it was like, why are you still talking about that? It's like, no, it's because I haven't processed it. So I really recommend that you try through any program you can get, not joining a cult or anything like that, but Alcoholics Anonymous is not a cult. It's not a cult because you can walk out anytime you want to. You can go there. You can drop out anytime you want to. Nobody's going to be badgering you. But I did feel like, now I'm trying to express how I felt. I felt like I had already had very low self-esteem, but after my divorce, I really felt like, wow, I'm just like on the floor of self-esteem. And by the time I left him, I was with him for 26 and a half years. My girls were grown. They had their own life. One of my daughters already had her, had a child, so we had a granddaughter. And I just felt like, they were off doing their thing. And so I wasn't, Jessica and Jamie's mom anymore. I was just, I didn't know what to do with myself. I spent so many, because when I was raising my kids, it was all about my kids. It wasn't about me. I didn't go have my nails done. I didn't do anything like that. I was all about my kids. So I I didn't know what to do with myself after that. And unfortunately, I, you know, got a so-called boyfriend, I guess you could call it. But that was like 2 years after my divorce. I got a boyfriend, and that was a horrible experience. I mean, coming off a bad marriage and then getting into a relationship is not a good idea. Uh, it was it reconfirmed the fact that it made my self-esteem very low too, because he would stand me up a lot and I didn't understand, and he was basically a womanizer, but I couldn't see that because I hadn't been out there for a long time, and since I got married very young, I I didn't know how to spot the jerks. And so but when I first got my condo, and I would come home, and I would just a lot of times just sit there in a chair and just like listen to the silence, because when I was married it was a lot of screaming and yelling going on, and it was always a problem, always a problem. Everything was a problem. And I thought everybody lived that way. I really did. So anyway, so yes, I really did enjoy that part of it, but I did feel quite lost, and very angry. I was angry because I felt like, wait a minute, ever since I was a kid, I dreamed of finding the love of my life and getting married, right? So, having the big house, the grandkids coming over to visit, a good relationship, a good solid relationship, just dedicated to each other, building a life together. I always dreamed of that when I was a kid, so I tried so hard to get that, and when it didn't pan out, man, I was pissed. I was pissed. I'm not lying, man, because I was like, look, I'm a good person. I mean, what's this guy's problem? Why doesn't he love me? I mean, why don't you love me? And but it takes two to work a marriage, man. It takes two to work a marriage, and if one person's trying to carry that marriage, that ain't gonna work. Um, so yeah, I mean, it did not work, and then all of a sudden, I don't know how old I was. I mean, what, 18 years ago? I don't know. I guess I was in my mid 40s. I'm thrust into singlehood, and I was like, what am I doing out here, man? I would swear to you, I was like the kitten, a squished kitten on the highway of love. I'm not joking, man. I was just like, ugh. And I remember one particular night when I was walking down, I don't know why I was walking alone at night, but I was walking from like a club or something. And and I wasn't drunk, man, but I was I was thinking to myself, wow, this is the first time that I really feel like a full-fledged adult, because I didn't have any kids with me. Because when I had my kids, I mean, they were never left with babysitters. He always made sure that I didn't go anywhere without those kids, man. And I don't get me wrong, I love being with my kids, but yeah, I never had personal time. Like they say, oh, I need a break. I'm gonna mommy time. No, I didn't have no mommy time. So, so yeah, I mean, it was just a real awakening for me, and some things in that awakening I welcomed, but other things I was just like lost. And I had low self-esteem too, because I had mommy issues. My mom, I was like the least favorite daughter of hers, so she always made me feel less than. So that just complemented with the bad marriage, and then the first bad boyfriend. It was just like, So after that, but I did love the peaceful home. Let me tell you, when I came home and that house was silent, that was like, wow, that was great. I love that, and I treasured that, and I still do. I still do. And subsequently, I had two more boyfriends, and they were jerks too. But anyway, the last boyfriend, he seemed to have had some kind of racial problem with me. But anyway, um, when I broke up with the last boyfriend, I I said I'm not dating. I'm not dating anymore, because I obviously have a bad picker, man. I said I'm just gonna dedicate myself. I'm gonna get to know myself, because look, I was told this by one of my daughters. She said, look, Mom, you're attracting the wrong kind of man. You're attracting, something in you is attracting the wrong type of guy. Now, if you knew me, people that know me know that I look like, I don't know what I look like, but obviously, I guess I give the impression of being a party girl or something, but I'm not. I'm a family girl. But anyway, so I kept attracting these guys, these womanizers. So what happens is that I just told myself, that's it, man. I'm going on shutdown. So I did. The last 3 years I have not dated at all. I dedicated myself to personal growth. Um, I just discovered myself. For the first 6 months, I watched the movie Eat, Pray, Love a lot, the movie with Julia Roberts. And I'm not kidding you, I got so much. When I first saw that movie in the theater, I really didn't like it that much. It was like, whatever. I guess it depends where you're at mentally or your life situation. But now I watch it and it's just like, wow, it was really helped me get comfortable with discovering myself. And I just started to get to know myself, get to know what I liked, what I didn't like. Um, And I began to also work on standing up for myself. I stopped being such a doormat and such a people pleaser. And I started taking care of me, man, taking care of me because, like I said before, it was all about my children and what they needed. Oh, mom, can you babysit? Sure, whatever. It was always about them, but now it was about me. And I live in another state now. One lives in one state, the other one lives in another state. So I don't have anyone in this state, and that's fine. I go and visit them and stuff like that. But I say all that to say that I have a lot of time alone, and I'm kind of glad because that helped me focus on me, and and I've grown so much over these last couple of years. And, to make a long story short, I guess it's too late, huh? I just want to tell you that it does get better. I promise you it gets better. Now, it takes work and dedication, but it does get better because for me, I had to focus on myself. I had to, basically, I just went to work, to AA meetings, and home. To work, to AA meetings, and home. And you know what? Now, my home is my oasis. That's the way I live now. I mean, I have this little apartment in a 55 and older place. I'm 63 now. And I just love it, man. I love being at home. I used to not like to be at home because whenever I was home, I was forced to be busy doing something. I wasn't really allowed to just sit in my living room and watch a show. I had to be in the kitchen cleaning. I had to be folding the clothes. I had to be doing something. And now, I mean, I sit down and watch, Forensic Files like crazy. I pet my dogs. I have a dog and a cat that I really, really enjoy. And that's another thing I really recommend. I recommend if you're divorced, if you're getting a divorce, you should get an animal. But take care of it. Don't just get it for, show. Take care of the animal. It'll help you focus on someone else besides. It'll get you out of your head where you're not thinking about constantly about the divorce. It'll give you a kind of like a new birth. You know what I mean? Give you something to take care of, something to love you because you need that. You need that physical, somebody to get excited when you come home. You know what I mean? You really do need that. It's a validation. Boy, when I walk in the door and my dog starts going like, back and forth, they're just excited to see me. I love that. And I kiss my dogs and I kiss my cat and I don't care. Some people say it's dirty. I don't care. I love my animals. So yeah, do that, man. Do that for yourself. It's a great great feeling to be loved that way. And you need that. You need that. After my when I got a divorce, it was someone in my family. Well, my nephew committed suicide, and that was devastating. And I really needed some physical contact, and I did seek comfort. I don't recommend that because you could catch something. But anyway, that's another story. That's another video. But I do recommend that you really do. There is life after divorce. There's life after divorce. And it's okay. And it does work out. And you will find yourself. You will find yourself. And another reason I recommend getting a pet is because, I always have two pets because I like them to keep each other company. So when I have to go to work, they can have someone to play with, just to chase around because I'm telling you, I had a mommy and daughter dog and the mom passed away. My beloved Mitzi passed away last year. And for about a year, I just had the one dog. And I was afraid to get another pet because I said, well, I don't want dogs going to be a real barker and all that stuff. So anyway, I ended up getting a kitten because they were giving away free kittens at Walmart. So anyway, I got the kitten. I'm telling you, the kitty is a wonderful addition my to my family, And the dog now runs around with the cat. The dog nurses the cat. I mean, it's just hilarious. And that you need that laughter that animals bring. This morning, the kitten jumped up on the tub, and she's done that several times, but this time she fell in and wet her little paws, and it was so cute. I mean, they just keep me in stitches, man, and I need that laughter, okay? Um, I'm sorry I'm all over the place, but there's just so many parts to this, so many moving parts. One thing I really wanted to say is that, I used to live my life, and I'm not kidding, for years. Like, I would say like the 62 years of my life, I used to get up and the first thing that would come to my mind would be something negative. I always was thinking about some problem or something that had happened to me. The divorce, why didn't it work out? I remember when he did this. I remember when he did that. Why didn't I stand up for myself? Blah, 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 blah. So now what I started to do is when I started on my, voyage of self-discovery 3 years ago, I started listening to motivational videos on YouTube. Um, there's so many. Evan Carmichael. There's that other guy. Oh my gosh, what's his name? Brown, something Brown. I'm blanking out on the guy. But they're motivational speeches. There's one really good by Matthew McConaughey. There's one by Jim Carrey. Just different people talking about what they've been through, and it really helps. Every morning I listen to something positive because I was raised very negative, and I raised my daughters very negative too, unfortunately, because that's what we do. And so that made me work my mind. That plus going to AA meetings and working the AA program made me, I'm not, this isn't a recruitment session, okay? I'm just telling you my experience. Made me learn to live in gratitude for what I have, and made me look at the positive side of things. And that's so important. And so I stopped playing those old scenarios, every day in my head, negative, negative, negative. And, I was talking to a cousin when I went to California back in, let me see, August, which is like 3 months ago. And, she was asking me, she goes, so what happened with your divorce? Because I hadn't seen her in like years. And I was started telling her about it. And so she said, whoa, whoa. She goes, you know what? She goes, you're like right back there. I said, what? She said, you're back there you're back there still trying to fix that. And boom, that hit me like a ton of bricks. And I thought to myself, wow, she is so right. And I was so grateful that she said that because, yeah, she was so right. I was still back there trying to fix that. I was still back there, man. I can't believe it after all this time. It's been 18 years, guys. And I was still back there trying to fix that. And ever since she said that, I started working harder to get rid of that. And that's part of the reason why I do these videos. My 17-year-old granddaughter, I have 3 granddaughters now, she turned me on to these videos, and shoot, I mean, they've helped me so much, and I hope they help you guys. I mean, I did them with the initial intention of trying to help someone, and they really helped me a lot. So I really, really hope something I said rings a bell with you. But most of all, I want you to know that I was very, very angry. And now this hit me like a ton of bricks one day, that I was angry because I wanted those 26 and a half years back. Damn it. So what did I do? I stayed angry for the next 18 years. So I ended up giving that guy 40 years of my life. How stupid is that? And I don't want you guys to make that same mistake, you know? I mean, you can do whatever you want to do with your life. It's your life. But I'm just saying, if somebody had told me that, God, I wish somebody had told me that. You know, when I got divorced 18 years ago, there was no support groups. There was no, Google and all that stuff, to look up information online. There was none of that. You were out there in the desert looking around like, where am I? So, guys, please take full advantage of any program you can get to work through your shit, man. Work through that shit. And get it out, man. Get it out. If you have to cry, look, if you have to rent movies. Now, this I did a lot when I was recently divorced. I used to go and rent like 5 movies at the video store. That's how long ago it was. And I used to just cry and cry and cry by myself. And sometimes I would rent funny ones and laugh. But yeah, I mean, I just did what I had to do. I would listen to a lot of romantic Mexican songs because I speak Spanish. And I don't know why. I mean, I would just cry and just whatever. Now, I don't recommend that you drink because alcohol just makes. Now, see, this is one of the main reasons I don't drink anymore is because alcohol takes me straight back to the past, man. Straight back. I'm like, dude, I can't think about anything else but what happened to me. And I don't want to think about that anymore. I don't want to, I already gave 40 years to that situation. I don't want to give any more. So, yeah, as long as I stay sober, man, I can move forward. And oh God, it's such a relief. I mean, I tell you with all sincerity, that I've never been happier. Never been happier in my whole life. I was a really depressed kid, and then my mommy didn't love me, and then my husband didn't love me, and I ended up thinking, geez, I must not be lovable, period. And because of the work that I've done, because I've used the tools that I learned in AA and other places, I really have been able to build a good life for myself, thank God. And I heard in one of the videos, I get a lot of good information from those motivational videos. One of the guys said that if you if it's hard for you to find out what you like, then start thinking about what you don't like and start from there. What you don't like and what you won't tolerate. Like, for instance, let me give you an example for myself. I won't tolerate dishonesty. I don't tolerate lying and playing games and dishonesty. I just don't tolerate it. I don't have time for it. I don't entertain that. When I see somebody that has anger issues, no, I don't need that. I don't need it, man. Or someone trying to use me. I've been used a lot of times. I don't play those games. So I know that I won't do that. And I won't do this, so then it kind of helps me clear away what I don't like, and then I can focus on. Then I find what I do like. I'm really loving this grass over here that I'm making. So this is the little house that you guys can build for yourself. You build a new life, I mean, it's doable, guys. It really is. One of the last things I want to say, guys, and this is so important, and I just discovered this like maybe 6 months ago. Stop waiting. Stop waiting for that love of your life to come. Stop waiting for that big event. Stop waiting for to hit the lotto or something like that. Stop waiting, man. We only have now. I mean, you could die tomorrow, a truck could hit you, I mean, I don't know. Don't wait, man. When I stopped, my life really began when I stopped waiting. I kept waiting for, and I didn't even know I was waiting, okay? But I guess I was waiting for my, the love of my life. I was like, oh, is this it? Is this it? Is this him? Is that him? Uh, no, I don't wait for that anymore. I'm living my life, man. And I don't know what's going to happen. But I tell you what, I'm not looking for anyone. I'm not looking for anything to happen. I just take the day as it comes. And I think it's really interesting because it's an adventure. It's an adventure. I I don't really plan my days. I kind of like, I have some things in mind I'll do, but if the day, if it goes a different way, okay, that's fine, whatever. And even my daughters tell me, they say, gosh, Mom, you're so flexible. And I am. You want to do this? Okay. You want to do that? Okay. I don't make a big deal out of little things. I went to see the play Wicked the other day, and the girl I went with, my friend, who's getting a divorce, she was calling me and telling me about the parking and this and that, and I told her whatever you think is, yeah, that's fine, that's fine. And I felt like telling her, and I didn't, but I probably will. I felt like telling her, I didn't make a big deal out of that day. It's not because I was leaving it all up to you, but it's because I really don't care. I mean, if the parking costs $20, it costs $20. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I told her, I said, we're going to get some good seats to watch this play because I'm not, when I do it, all the way, man. I'm not going to be, going to a play to sit in the nosebleed section. We're going to do this going to do it good, girl. So, yeah, I mean, I have fun today. I have fun in everything I do. I go to meetings to check on my friends, I go to meetings because I need to, obviously. And I don't even want to drink anymore. I mean, I stopped drinking. I had been going to the program for a long time, and I've been drinking and on and off. I just couldn't leave it alone, man. Until one day, one of my granddaughters called, the oldest one called, and I was just like, ugh, thinking to myself, God, I wonder if she noticed that I'm drinking, because my personality changes a lot when I drink. I get really mean and sarcastic, and it's just nasty. So, yeah, after I hung up with her, I thought to myself, man, that's it. I'm done. That was my bottom. But they say you find your bottom when you stop digging. But I didn't want to be remembered. What happened to Grandma? Oh, well, she drank herself to death. Didn't want to go down like that, And God, I didn't want that anger that I had to take me down, man. And it's so hard on the kids when you're angry, It's so hard on the kids. My daughters, I badmouthed their dad so much. I feel horrible about it now, but God, I was so freaking angry. I didn't know how else to get the anger out. So please, if you can, spare your kids in that sense and work your issues out, man. Do what you need. Be brave. Only cowards don't handle their stuff. Only cowards don't handle their shit, man. Handle your shit. You can do it, man. If I can do it, anybody can do it. Really, I'm serious. If I can do it, anybody can do it. So please, do your kids a favor, do yourself a favor, and take care of you, man. Take care of you. And if you want to leave me a message, please feel free to. I just wish that, some people say I give unrequited, well, my sponsor says that I give unrequested advice, but man, I just wish somebody would have walked up to me and said, look, why are you in this marriage still? Why are you putting up with that? Why are you, you're worthy. You are enough. Stop questioning yourself, man. I wish somebody had done that for me, and that's why I'm talking to you guys, because I want you to know that there is life after divorce. This is not the end. And I'll say one more time, I'm really, really sorry. I'm really, really sorry your marriage didn't work out. Because, damn, love is beautiful. Love is beautiful. And who doesn't want to feel that feeling, right? But you got to be careful who you give your love to. And it has to be two. It has to be two people. And you have to be working on it together. And there has to be trust, most of all. God, if somebody's screwing around on you, man, forget it. Give it up. I don't even, because when I go into relationships, I give everything I have. I'm open and honest with who I am. And what you see is what you get. So if that wasn't enough for you, I'm good. We're good. And I also do not remain friends with exes. I don't do it. It's my policy. Because since I give everything I am to the relationship, man, you already know me. I don't need to talk to you again. If we're done, we're done. Don't be calling me to see how I am. I don't want to hear it. I mean, I wish them all well, but I don't need to be talking to you. Hey, what's up? How you doing? I don't need to know how your day went. I mean, we're done. So no, I'm not friends with any of my exes. And it's not because I'm a mean person. It's just because I don't have time. I'm trying to move on. I'm trying to do my thing. I'd rather be on the couch petting my dog or whatever, playing with my dog, watching my dog and my cat run around the house chasing each other, than to be on the phone with some guy that screwed me over or that, because I've never had a good relationship where I could say, well, Johnny and I went together and, he's a really nice guy and it just didn't work out. That has not been my experience so far. So, yeah. So I guess that's all for now, guys. I'm sorry I was all over the place, but, man, I was just trying to I get really passionate about what I feel. And, I just felt there were so many points that I had to make that were so important. So please know that sometimes it's hard for you to stand up for yourself and say no. But when you say no to people, you're saying yes to yourself. You need to take care of yourself, man. You need to take care of yourself and things will work out. I promise you. It will get better. I know it looks bleak right now, but it will get better. You just have to be patient with the process too. Be patient. Okay? Much love to you guys, and I hope you leave a comment. And God bless you, man. I feel for you. Been there, done that. It's painful, but you can get through it and cry your ass off if you have to. That's fine. Okay? It is what it is, man. And it's going to be okay. All right. Much love, guys. Bye-bye. Hey, guys, there's one more thing I forgot to say. You don't know why your marriage didn't work out with that other person. There could be a lot of reasons that you don't know. Some people, they don't come out of the closet. It's a possibility that your partner could have been gay. I mean, you don't know that, yes or no, because of all this on the down low stuff. But if you are gay, please don't marry a straight person. What I'm trying to say is be true to yourself, and don't take everything so personally, because at the end of the day, you don't know all the details of why people do what they do. So don't try not to take it too personally. Just work on yourself and focus on yourself. And it'll be okay, just be true to yourself and who you are. So I just wanted to add that, because you never know the details of why people do what they do. And And it's okay, just focus on you. That's what I wanted to say. It's not gay bashing or anything. I just think, I really, and I want to add this because it's very important. I really do respect people that are gay and come out and say they're gay, because it's very it's fair, you know, and it gives everyone a chance to be themselves, to get what you need, you know what I mean? So, because and I'm saying this because I've talked to other people that are getting divorces, and a lot of times they find out that the other person was gay, and that they didn't know that, or the person was a coward, or you know, and he or she didn't want to come out, and unfortunately they wasted the other person's time. So I don't know if that's the case or not for anyone, but don't take that personally. I mean, that's on them, okay? It's not on you. So I just wanted to add that in there. So just take care of you, man, and just focus on moving forward. Okay? All right, much love, guys. I just had to add that.